I'm Mike Fitch with Global Bodyweight Training. This week's video is all about wrist mobility. We're going to be showing you a series of exercises and mobilizations that are perfect for increasing the range of motion and extensibility at the wrists. This is actually part of our upcoming hand balancing DVD. However, these movements are perfect for everybody. Remember, it's important to start slow with these mobilizations. Only increase your speed or intensity as your body allows. You also shouldn't experience any pain, although you may feel some discomfort, just like with any stretch. Let's get started.
The first mobilization I'll show you is the wrist roll. I recommend doing each of the stretches in this video for 30 to 60 seconds each, working your way through all of them. Start by interlacing the fingers. The key to these stretches is to keep the movements as fluid as possible, so don't lock the grip, just make sure the fingers are firmly connected. Keep the palms in contact with each other throughout the movement. Just think about rotating the hands around each other. Be sure to start slow before increasing the speed. When you've completed your first wrist roll, the next step is to simply repeat the wrist roll, rotating to the opposite direction. You'll notice that one direction of the wrist rotation may feel much more natural than the other. The ascending-descending wrist roll is a variation of the regular wrist rolls, where we are changing the angle slightly by changing the position of the elbows. Start the roll as you push the hands up towards the face, bringing the elbows together. Next, begin to lower the hands as you push the elbows outward. In the bottom position, it's acceptable if the palms are not touching each other. The next mobilization is the wrist waves. Start by interlacing the fingers with the palms facing the ground and the elbows out to the side. Begin the wave by flexing one of the wrists and letting it flow through the opposite wrist all the way down to the other elbow. Go back to the opposite elbow to start the next wave, so that you are working the same wrist as you repeat the movement. As with the other exercises, fluidity is the key, so try to imagine a very smooth wave moving from one arm to the next. Complete your 30 to 60 second set on this side. For the next set, you will initiate the wave from the opposite elbow and repeat the movement towards the other direction. Once again, one direction will probably feel more natural than the other. Be sure to practice the waves from each direction, and they will eventually feel equally balanced. Next, we have the prayer position stretch. This movement mimics the position that your wrists will be in for most balances, so it's super important for your hand balance training. Start by placing the hands together, roughly at face level with your fingers straight. Keep the hands in contact with each other as you begin to lower the hands, pushing the elbows out to the side while applying pressure inward. As the wrists drop below elbow level, your palms may begin to separate. This is acceptable. Just attempt to keep as much of the hand in contact with each other as possible. Once you've reached the end of your range, push the hands back up towards the ceiling as you pull the elbows together. Repeat the process, trying to gain more range of motion with each rep. The reverse prayer stretch is the exact opposite or antagonist movement of the position you will be in for your hand balances. For this reason, it's also a great relief position to use in between your hand balances. Start with the back of the hands in contact and the fingers pointing down towards the ground. As you pull your arms upward, the elbows will begin to flare out. Once your wrists are in equal line with the elbows, squeeze the elbows inward as you continue to push the wrists upward. As with the prayer stretch, try to gain more range of motion with each rep. Start the lateral wrist stretch by interlacing the fingers with the palms facing down and the thumb pads touching each other. Keep the pinky fingers locked in tight. While keeping the hands at the same level as the elbows, begin to push the hands away from your body, allowing the wrists to bend laterally. You should feel the stretch on the outside of the wrists. Hold for a couple of seconds and return to the start position. I call this next stretch the shaka stretch, named after the Hawaiian hand symbol for hang loose or hang 10, which is a shaka. It also happens to be a great rotational wrist mobility movement. Start by bending the 3 middle fingers while extending the pinky and thumb. From here, just begin to rotate back and forth at the wrist. The final stretch is the sagittal shaka, with the addition of the sagittal component referring to the plane of motion the hand is now moving in. Start in the regular shaka hand position with the pinky and thumb extended and palms facing each other. Then just bend the wrist towards the direction of the pinky and then back again toward the direction of the thumb. Continue to go back and forth for the entire 30 to 60 second set.
We hope you enjoyed our wrist mobility tutorial. It's not a bad idea to start or finish a workout with these movements. Also, if you're spending a lot of time typing, it's a great idea to use these mobility exercises throughout the day. Stay tuned for our full-length hand balancing DVD coming soon.